Hey everybody, my name is Robert and you're watching the premiere episode of Archery Vision. This is a new video series that I've come up with that is going to focus more on being interactive with the archers that are watching my videos, following me on social media, contacting me through my website, and things of that nature. Basically what I'm going to do with this is break it down into multi-segment videos where you're going to see form, shooting tips, technical side of archery, so bow tuning, arrow setup, things of that nature, and then other giveaways and things like that scattered in along the way. I'm also going to be working one-on-one with archers, so you're going to actually see a real-life person and what I'm doing to help them. So pointing out issues with their form, pointing out things that they're doing wrong with their shooting, or working with them on their bow tuning and their arrow building so that they can have a better working setup and a better shooting form. This is going to be more than just me standing there and saying, hey, here's what it looks like, here's what you're needing to do, like you've seen in my past Tuesday tip of the weeks. And I'm hoping that this is going to be able to bring more of us together and really shed some light on some real world issues that are happening with archers that I see every day. Alright, so jumping right into things, this is going to be the form segment of this first video here. What I'm going to be doing is actually working with an archer out of Australia. His name is Rob as well. He's come to me and we're working with this form and we're working with the shooting right now, and he has a common problem that I'm seeing a lot now with different archers. It seems to me that the thumb button is getting a little bit more popular and people are transitioning over to it and they're getting lazy with their shots. And what I mean with that is because you have a trigger to work with on that thumb button, you're not actually holding the pressure in your back, you're not stabilizing yourself with your core muscles as well, and you're really relying on being able to just punch or snap through the trigger. And what that's doing is creating weak shots, collapsing, and also anticipation. I'm going to show you a video of his that he sent over to me, and I'm going to talk you through what I can see and just let you see some areas that are telltale signs that really stick out to me. Then I'll show you what we did to fix it.
So thank you again to Rob for sending this video over for me and letting me work with you. So there's a couple of things I want to point out here. The first one is, let's look at his bow hand as his shot fires. Watching that hand, it actually opens up, and that's showing me that he's anticipating the shot, and that's pairing with what we see with his weak shot and just punching at the trigger. So there you can see it opening up. The next thing I want to look at is, let's focus on his release arm. And let's look at it as the shot fires and goes off. Now, on an archer, when you engage your back and you're pulling through the shot and you have a big motion, that hand's really going to move back. What we can see here with Rob, that hand barely moves back at all. It's just coming back behind his head. And what that's showing me is that he's not engaging the back muscles, he's not allowing himself to be steadier with his core muscles, and he's not pulling or preloading with that back. We'll watch one more shot here to see it again. So that hand pops open on every shot and the arm is just coming back a little bit.
So when I go through this step with an archer, I want to look at the root of the problem. For Rob, it's going to be the tension set up on his thumb button, meaning the tension on that button to depress it and fire that release is too light. We need to stiffen that up. And the reason we're wanting to do that is because we need to build tension and create that throughout our core and throughout the bow when we're at full draw in order for us to steady ourselves up. That means being able to push towards a target until everything steadies up the most and not going over that limit with too much of a push, and then being able to preload our back and pull our hand back with enough force coming back on the bowstring that we also steady up the sight picture even more. Now, if you don't have enough tension on the button, you won't be able to press your thumb on it at all without worrying about it firing. You need to be able to preload that pressure of the thumb and feel that skin move just a little bit as you press on that button in order to ensure yourself that you can press on it without it firing and really pull back and extend to steady your sight picture. Now what I've done with Rob for the time being, because he does have a resistance release, is I've had him switch to that release because what it's going to do is train him to be able to preload the back, push towards a target, and then have to continually expand throughout his shot in order to get a good surprise release and be stronger in what he's doing.
Now in this video it's a little bit different angle, but he is using a resistance release. I want us to look at two things, same thing as we did before. On this first shot here, watch for his bow hand. Because he's pulling through his shot and it's changing his timing with this resistance release, he's not anticipating it and he won't open that hand up as the shot fires. Now if we look at this again and we watch this video over, we can look at his release hand. Before, his release hand would barely move and just clear his cheek, just clear his neck area. Now it's actually coming back with the full expansion of what his body is allowing him to do because of his preload.
I actually did this with a set of air shaft arrows that I was using in tuning for my 23 series indoor arrows. For this week's tech segment, I actually want to go over setting up your cams on a bow. I have a lot of people that email me, message me, ask me this question. Hey, I have a new bow, it doesn't have marks on the cams, I don't know where to set them. A lot of people fall into this crutch, and this is what they've used for a long time to set up their bows, but I want to show you how to set your bow up where you can find your cam timing and never have to worry about those marks again. It really gives you a opening of a new world to where you can set up a bow to feel personally how you like it best. For example, I have my new Prevail with the XVX cam. These SVX cams are similar to what you've seen in the past as spirals, and they come in at 65% let off. For me, that's a little bit much. I like 70%. But because I know how to set up my cams by using peak weight, holding weight, and let off percentage, I can set these cams up to where everything is perfect, top and bottom, and everything is going to line up the way that I want it to. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do is put my bow on its drawboard and start drawing the bow back and reading my scale. Now what I'm doing with my scale as I'm drawing the bow back is I'm looking for the highest number. That's going to be my peak weight, and that's our starting rotation position for our cams. Now once we have that number, the next one that I'm looking for is my holding weight. So holding weight is going to be the number that you get as you get the bow back to full draw. Both cams are touching and the stops are just barely hitting. So that means, you know, just touching the cables or just touching the limbs, not cranking down on it and not over rotating anything. The base number of what you get right at full draw. Now once we have both of those numbers, then we can figure out let off percentage. And I'll put the formula for that below. I'm going to use just a generic 60-pound setup for a bow with 75% let off. That's a pretty standard number, but it'll give you an idea of what you're looking for. The reason we want to find this is because we want to match up with what we're seeing on our bow. If we have a bow with a 75% let off cam, and we're getting a formula number that come out to 70% or 80%, that's telling us something. If our let off percentage is higher than what it should be, that means the cams are rotating further around than what they're supposed to be doing. So when it comes to that, then we have some adjustments that we need to make on the bow. Alright, so what type of adjustments are we talking about? Well, using the scenario that I had before, if our let off percentage is higher than what it's supposed to be, the cams are rotating further than what they're supposed to. So that means that we need to start taking some twist out of our cables in order to change the rotation of this cam and get us set up with our let off where we want to. Anytime you have a cam that's rotating too far, you should also have a peak weight that is too high. Meaning that if you have a 60-pound peak weight bow, you're coming in around 64, 65 pounds, something along those lines. Something that's too high, that means the limbs are compressed and pulled together too much, and that's over-rotating the cams for their starting position just a little bit too much as well. Letting these twists out of the cables allows these cams to rotate to the correct position, and then you go back to the drawboard, back to that formula until everything is matching up perfectly for you. So for today's shooting tip, what I want to do is separate compound bows from recurve bows and talk about getting the most out of your compound setup to help you with your aim and your shot execution. There was something that Griff said early on when I was shooting that really set a tone with me and really made a lot of sense to me as well. And what it was is that with a compound bow, your goal is to be as still as possible. Now with a recurve setup, you're continually moving. You're expanding and you're moving and you're pulling through the clicker until you get through it, and then you're letting go of the string, and that's how you fire your shot. Now with a compound bow, we've got cams, we've got let off, we have back walls, and we have handheld releases. So we can use all this to our advantage to help us steady up on our shot. Now what I'm going to do is actually take my bow and I'm going to go in my garage because I want you to be able to hear the click that's going on, and that way you can understand what I'm doing, and I'll talk you through what I mean here. Alright guys, so I'm set up here in my garage. Forgive me for the echo, but I'm actually using that for our advantage this point because I want you to be able to hear when I get to the click on my release, and I'm going to talk through why it's like that and what I'm doing with this setup. So again, what I was saying, whenever you're shooting your compound bow, you're working on being as still as possible. That means taking out a lot of the movement, and instead of having a rapid or a large expansion like you would with a recurve bow, you're going to have a very small expansion because you're going to pre-build all that tension ahead of time to help steady your sight up. Now this goes back to what we talked about earlier in this video with Rob, where you're pushing towards a target as you're settling into your anchor to get the steadiest sight picture. And this is going to be where we pull and get our steadiest sight picture through our anchor. And the way that we're going to do that is with our hinge. This is going to be getting very familiar with how we hold our hinge. And as I've talked about in some of my other videos in the past, not putting too much weight on your index and actually engaging and working through your outer fingers with your release as well. And the reason you're doing that is because you need to be able to get to the click as you anchor and get steadiest on sight. So this is going to work similar to like what you would see on a clicker for a recurve. And this is what we're going to do is as we get into anchor, we're going to load our back, and as we're loading that back muscle, it's naturally going to bring our elbows back around behind us. And we're going to set the click up to where when we see our steadiest sight picture on target, that's when our elbow is going to be at the best position, and that's when our release is going to click. We're going to use that as a starting point on every single shot. If we don't get to it at the correct time, we know we need to let down because we changed the pressure in our hand and we're not holding the release correctly. So I'm going to take a shot here on target. I'm going to let you see what that looks like and see what it sounds like. So steadiest point for me when I'm preloading my back is at that click. That's when my shot execution is going to start. At that point, I'm actually just relaxing the hand and gradually expanding, gradually increasing the tension. So it's letting the back muscles contract and come around on my release side and pushing just slightly towards target with my bow arm. Everything is an incredibly small movement, and you're going to work different things together. So we're working with relaxing the hand to help rotate the release, and also that small expansion. All that's combined is going to help fire your release quicker. It's going to help it be more consistent, and you're going to be a steadier on target archer. Alright, so the last thing that I wanted to go over here is a giveaway. To celebrate hitting 3,000 subscribers here on my YouTube channel, I want to be able to give back to each and every one of you. I also want to say thank you for subscribing, for liking the videos, for sharing the videos, and helping me reach out to more people. Now I've got 3 companies, one for every 1,000 subscribers that I have, that's going to be able to join up with me for this giveaway. First one is going to be Twisted X Bowstrings. That's the string company that I use personally. I've used them for the last couple of years on my bows, customers' bows, friends' bows. They're incredibly high quality strings, and Shane, the owner of that company, builds all of them himself, so they are very consistent and very good quality. Shane's actually going to be giving away a full string set to whoever wins that portion of this giveaway. Second company is Archery Squad. Archery Squad's giving a $25 gift card away to whoever wins this part, and I'll also give you a discount code to help you with 20% off on their order. Third company is Scratch Labs. Scratch Labs is going to give a $10 gift card to whoever wins that portion of the giveaway, and they're a company that's going to be more around the hydration side, daily hydration, exercise hydration, things of that nature, be able to help you, especially with the summer months coming up. For this giveaway, I wanted to be able to give a preview for it and show you what's going on. I don't know how well it's going to come up on video, but it is raining a little bit. Water is dripping on me some as I'm sitting here filming this and talking through it. What I'm going to do is actually set my bow up and target up at 100 yards. I'm going to take everybody's name that are entered into this giveaway. I'm going to put them on the target backwards so I can't see the name. I'm just going to spread them out all over it, and I'm going to take 3 shots. And whichever arrow lands on those 3 names, that's who's going to win the giveaway portion. To enter, what I need you to do is like this video and also share this video. Once you've done that, comment down below, just say done, and that's gonna let me know that you're entered into this video, and it's gonna run for 1 week. I'm gonna actually announce the winners on the next video. So at the end of this next video, on next Thursday that airs, that's when I'll make my shots, and that's when we'll see who wins. Guys, I thank you for watching this video. Appreciate it. This is gonna be a fun new series where I can work with a lot of archers and hopefully come up with some more helpful ways to reach out to each and every one of you. Thank y'all again. I'll see you next time.